Hi, my name is Matthew Davis. I picked one of Donald Trump's last speeches before November 8th election 2016. This speech came at a perfect time that some people claim it is the speech that won Trump the election. I love it because I love how well the speech connects with me. I believe the best speeches are the ones that involve and invoke the audience to feel a part of it. The speech starts off with Donald Trump. Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. There is nothing the political establishment will not do, and no lie they will not tell, to hold on their prestige and power at your expense. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interests they partner with, our campaign represents a serious threat. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying everything to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that bled this country dry. The political establishment that has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs. They flee to Mexico, China, and other countries throughout the world. Our just announced jobs numbers are suffering, and our gross domestic product, or GDP, is barely above 1%. Workers in the United States were making less than they were almost 20 years ago, and yet they're working harder than they were back then. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. Just look at what this corrupt establishment has done to our cities like Detroit and Flint in Michigan, and rural towns in Pennsylvania, Ohio, North Carolina, and across our entire country. They have stripped these towns bare and raided the wealth for themselves and taken away their jobs. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of the U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers. And likewise, the emails show that the Clinton machine is so closely and irrevocably tied to media organizations that she is given the questions and answers in advance of her debates. Clinton is also given approval and veto power over quotes written about her in the New York Times. And the emails show the reporters collaborate and conspire directly with the Clinton campaign on helping her win this election. With their control over our government at stake, with trillions of dollars on the line, the Clinton machine is determined to achieve the destruction of my campaign, which has now become a movement the likes of which our country has never seen before, and we won't let them do that. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corrupt media. Let's be clear, one thing: the corrupt media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They are a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or financial entity with an agenda. And their agenda is to elect the Clintons at any cost, at any price, no matter how many lives they destroy. For them, it is a war, and for them, nothing is out of bounds. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation. This election will determine whether we are a free nation or whether we only have the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system. This is not a conspiracy, but reality, and you and I know it. This establishment and their media enablers wield control over this nation through the means that are well known. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe, and morally deformed. They will attack you, they will slander you, they will seek to destroy you, your career, and your reputation, and they will lie, and even lie more. The Clintons are criminals. This is well documented, and the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up, widespread criminal activity at the State Department and Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. Never in history have we ever seen such a cover-up as this, one that includes the destruction of 33,000 emails, 13 photos, laptops, missing boxes of evidence, and on and on. People who are capable of such crimes against our nation are capable of anything. But I take all these slings and arrows for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. Our great civilization here in America and across the civilized world has come upon a moment of reckoning. We've seen in the United Kingdom where they voted to liberate themselves from a global government and global trade and global immigration deals that have destroyed their sovereignty. But the central base of world political power is here in America, and it is our corrupt political establishment that is the greatest power behind the efforts at radical globalization and a disenfranchisement of working people. Their financial resources are unlimited, their political resources are unlimited, their media resources are unlimited, and most importantly, the depths of their immorality is unlimited. Our political establishment has no soul. I knew these false attacks would come. I knew the day would arrive, and I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop the corrupt Clinton machine is you. The only force strong enough to save the country is you. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. They control the Department of Justice, and they even clandestinely meet with the Attorney General of the United States in the back of her airplane while on the runway for 39 minutes to most likely discuss her reappointment in a Clinton administration just prior to the Attorney General making a decision over whether or not to prosecute Hillary Clinton. Likewise, they have corrupted the director of the FBI to the point at which stories are already saying the great men and women who work for the FBI are embarrassed and ashamed of what he's done to one of the great institutions. Hillary Clinton is guilty of all the things that the director Comey stated at his press conference and congressional hearings, and far more. And yet, he let her off the hook, while others' lives are being destroyed for far less. This is a conspiracy against you, the American people. This is our moment of reckoning as a society and as a civilization. I didn't need to do this. I built a great company. I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the benefits of years of successful business for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, and malicious attacks. I'm doing it because the country has given me so much, and I feel strongly it was my turn to give back. Some people warned me this campaign would be a journey to hell, but they are wrong. It will be a journey to heaven because it will help so many people. In my former life, I was an insider as much as anybody else, and I know what's like to be an insider. Now I am being punished for leaving their special club and revealing to you their great scam. Because I used to be part of the club, I'm the only one who can fix it. I'm doing this for the people, and this movement is just right, and we will take back this country for you and make America great again. The corrupt establishment knows that we are a serious threat to their criminal enterprise. They know that if we win, the power is gone and returned to you. The clouds hanging over our government can be lifted and replaced with a bright future, but it all depends on whether we let the New York Times decide our future or whether we let the American people decide our future. If the Clinton campaign of destruction is allowed to work, then no other highly successful person, which is what our country needs, will ever again run for office. I will not lie to you. These false attacks hurt. To be lied about, to be slandered, to be smeared so publicly and before your family is painful. But I also know it's not about me. It's about all of you. It's about all of us together as a country. It's about the veterans who need medical care. It's about the mothers who have lost children to terrorism and crime. It's about the inner cities and the border towns who desperately need our help. It's about the millions of jobless Americans. This election is about the people being crushed by Obamacare, and it's about defeating ISIS and appointing Supreme Court justices who will defend our Constitution. This election is also about the African American and Hispanic communities, whose communities have been plunged with crime, poverty, and failing schools by the policies of Hillary Clinton. They've robbed these citizens of their future, and I will give them their hope, jobs, and opportunities back. I will deliver. This election is about every man, woman, and child in our country who deserves to live in safety, prosperity, and peace. We will rise above the lies, the smears, and the slanders from reporters. We will vote for the country we want. We will vote for the future we want. We will vote for the politics we want. We will vote to put this corrupt government cartel out of business. We will remove from our politics the special interests who have betrayed our workers, who have betrayed our borders, our freedoms, and our sovereign rights as a nation. We will end the politics of profit. We will end the rule of special interests. We will put a stop to the raiding of our country and the disenfranchisement of our people. Our Independence Day is at hand, and it arrives finally on November 8th. Join me in taking back our country and creating a bright and glorious new dawn for our people.